So we're here in front of the kale. Yep, let's just line that up. So we're here in front of the kale that we planted a few days ago. Ideally, what was it, 2 days ago I think. Ideally we would have had insect net mesh up straight away, but I had neglected to get it in time, which is pretty on brand for me, being a little unorganized, but I'm getting better. Anyway, I didn't get the net in time, so we didn't have it up immediately, but shouldn't be a problem. Kale's just been in the ground for a day or two, settling in great. Looking really healthy. There's a little patch down there you can see where something's been digging away. As I say, we get rabbits and deers and all sorts on the field, so it's important that we get the electric netting up later. But for now, we are looking at smaller pests. We're looking at root flies, we're looking at butterflies for kale, which lay their larvae. Is it white? I think it's white butterfly. I'm not quite sure actually, but it's a type of butterfly that lays its larvae on the kale and can cause damage, can stunt the plant. So yes, we want to get some netting up. Now, I had a dig around the stables and what odds and sods we had, and because we've done quite a bit of fencing over the years, obviously we get leftover bits that we throw into the corners here and there and forget about. First one I found was this mild steel fencing wire, 3.15 millimeters. I think that's 10 gauge, I believe. I was after high tensile. I wasn't sure we had any. Luckily, we did. We did have some high tensile wire. Quite a bit. Yeah, I think that'll do us. So, great stuff. I think it's a little thicker. No, about the same actually. Yeah, I think that's 10 gauge. You could go thicker. I think in a perfect world, I'd go just a little bit thicker, 9 gauge, high tensile, and I wouldn't have any worries about that then sagging under the weight. We don't get much, if any, snow up here, so that's the main concern is snow sitting on top of the netting and adding weight. But obviously the stronger the better, within reason. I think 9 gauge, I'm not quite sure what that is in millimeters, is probably the best balance between flexibility, ease of use, and strength. But we've got 10 gauge, and that's fine. At least I think it's 10 gauge. Pretty sure that's 10 gauge. So you can see the difference here. If we compare the two wires, this is the high tensile stuff. You can see it holds its shape. Very springy, strong. You know, I can bend it with my hands, but I have to apply some force to do so. And then this is the mild steel. Now this should be fine. I'm sure this would work absolutely fine. It's not quite as strong. You can see it's more flexible. You can bend it very, very easily, which is really handy actually. You know, you can use it for all sorts of things in the garden. But for this purpose in particular, the high tensile is going to be better. So if you're going out and shopping, that's what I'd look for. So in terms of measurement, if you've seen any of my videos before, it will come as no surprise that I'm not being too exact. What I want is more than enough length to get it into the ground, a good amount, so it's nice and sturdy, well seated, nice and strong, but then also have enough room above the plants themselves. It's not a problem if they're touching the insect mesh, to be honest, but better that they're not. Nice to have a bit of headroom if you can. And also, in terms of versatility for future uses, some plants you may need to have a foot of headroom to give them time to grow for the amount of time you're going to need the insect mesh on there. Some plants you're just going to want, you know, an inch or two. Bring it down much closer. Obviously, the closer it is, the the further the wire is embedded in the ground and stronger it feels, really. So I would err on the side of getting the wire a bit longer, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So you're not having to recut different sizes for different crops. We've got this hoop, we've got standardized bed sizes. That hoop, we will be able to use it on all of our beds for any of our crops, essentially. And that's about it, really. In terms of the placement, I like to put them about 1 meter spacing. So I'll pace it out. This is around about 6.5, 7 paces long, these beds. These are our slightly longer beds that we use for salad growing. So it's going to be 6 or 7 hoops, probably 7. We'll space those out, put a pace in between, and then we'll come back and cut the size and weigh down the insect mesh on top. Ideally, for weighing it down, you'll have sandbags. We don't have any sandbags at the minute, but we do have lots and lots of rocks. We've got rocks, we'll probably use rocks. I will have a look for some sandbags. We have had them in the past, but whether I'll be able to find them is the other question. So I'll pace out these wires now, and we'll have a look at what the structure looks like then. So there we go, easy as that, really. As I was going along, I was just getting a rough idea that it was about, they were all about even, not being too specific with it, really. Just touching my glove to the ground and seeing if it touched just above the wrist there. So that'll do nicely. We can get our insect mesh over, weigh it down, and that'll be that crop protected. We have another 2 beds that we're going to need to cover over as well, so I want to cut 14 more of these individual hoops. We've got 7 out, we'll have 14 more. We've got more than enough wire here, so no problems there. I'll just show you how I've been doing that once I've got the So I know this is about the size I want. Once I've got that first template done, I can just line it up with the wire and use my wire cutters to cut the wire. You've got your template piece, and that makes it very easy. Then you can just snip away and make as many as you like. Okay, so here we are a couple of days later. We've got our insect netting cut the size roughly. It's a little bit oversized. Widthways in particular, but lengthways too, because that's just the size of the sheet how it worked out. So we've got it cut the size. We're going to cover up our kale. As I say, you want to get it done as soon as possible. Ideally, we would have had it done by now, but you know, things happen. So we're going to get it covered up now. The main thing we're looking to protect it from is the cabbage white butterfly. It lays its larvae on the kale, any kind of brassica. And the larvas, the caterpillars, can tear them to shreds, basically. So we want to make sure we keep those butterflies off our kale. Anyway, let's get it covered up. There you go. So that's a well protected patch of kale. We've got our insect mesh over the top, way down with rocks at the moment, and supported by the wire supports we made earlier in the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to replace the rocks with sandbags eventually. Probably later in the week, maybe next week. It's not an urgent job now. It'll just be one of those things I'll do as and when I get a spare few minutes. Rocks are fine, and we got tons of them around here for free, so that's what we're using at the moment. But the sandbags are less likely to damage the net because it can be quite easy to tear, actually, despite being plastic. You know, it can tear quite easily, and that obviously reduces the effectiveness of the netting once that happens. It's also more secure, so you know the rocks do a good job, but we do get the wind here quite badly, and the sandbags hold it down a bit more securely, so that'll be something we want to do. But as it is, that's going to be fine for now. I've got the other netting up as well, and we're going to plant out our broccoli and Tokyo Cross turnip next, which are another 2 crops that need protecting from the white moth caterpillar. So I hope that video was useful. Hope you enjoyed, and see you again soon. Thanks for watching.